In 1861, Abraham Lincoln took the oath of office as the 16th President of the United States, inheriting a nation on the brink of collapse. The Southern states had seceded after his election, forming the Confederate States of America. Lincoln faced an unthinkable challenge: preserve the Union or watch it die. For Lincoln, the Civil War wasn't just about territory. It was about the soul of the nation. Could democracy survive when divided by slavery? He once said, "A house divided against itself cannot stand." That prophecy had come true, and it fell to him to save what remained. When Confederate forces fired on Fort Sumter in April 1861, the Civil War began. Lincoln, calm yet resolute, called for 75,000 volunteers to defend the Union. But as the war dragged on, rebellion spread, not just on the battlefield, but in the streets and courts of the North. Lincoln realized that to preserve the Constitution, he might have to bend it. The very laws meant to protect liberty were being used to destroy it. In a move that shocked the nation, Lincoln suspended the writ of habeas corpus, the right to challenge unlawful imprisonment. It was a radical act. For the first time, the U.S. government could detain suspected traitors without trial. Critics called it tyranny. Lincoln called it necessity. He explained it simply: "Are all the laws but one to go unexecuted, and the government itself go to pieces, lest that one be violated?" Lincoln believed extraordinary times required extraordinary powers. To him, saving the Union was the highest form of justice. While generals waged war across the fields, Lincoln fought a war of principles, balancing liberty with survival, compassion with command. He expanded presidential power like no one before him, controlling telegraphs, the military draft, and national finances. His critics accused him of dictatorship, yet Lincoln saw it differently. He wasn't ruling to gain power, but to preserve the republic itself. As the war intensified, Lincoln faced endless heartbreak: young soldiers dying, cities in flames, and a country losing faith. In 1862, he made another bold move, the Emancipation Proclamation, declaring enslaved people in Confederate territory free. The decision transformed the war from a battle for union to a fight for freedom, giving it moral purpose that changed history forever. By linking liberty with victory, Lincoln reframed America's destiny, ensuring that the struggle for survival also became a struggle for justice. But the cost was immense. Over 600,000 Americans would die, brothers fighting brothers, states torn apart, hearts left broken. Through it all, Lincoln carried the weight of every casualty, every telegram, every mother's grief. He often visited soldiers' hospitals, walking among the wounded in silence, saying, "I must not lose this war, for I shall lose the country." In 1864, he faced re-election amid exhaustion and doubt. But victory at Gettysburg and Atlanta revived hope and secured his second term. Lincoln's final vision was not punishment, but reconciliation. He dreamed of rebuilding the Union with malice toward none, with charity for all. When the Confederacy surrendered in April 1865, the war was over. The Union was saved, but its savior would not live to see its rebirth. Just days later, Lincoln was assassinated, a martyr to liberty, struck down at the moment of triumph. His legacy endures not just in victory, but in his understanding that leadership demands sacrifice, and courage often means walking alone. By suspending habeas corpus, Lincoln risked everything to keep the nation whole, a decision still debated, yet impossible to ignore. He proved that democracy can survive crisis if guided by moral conviction, empathy, and unwavering resolve. Abraham Lincoln, the man who preserved the Union, ended slavery, and carried the weight of a divided nation on his shoulders. His greatest decision wasn't just to fight a war, but to believe that America's promise of freedom was worth every cost. If you found this information valuable, please go ahead and subscribe, like, and share. Thank you for watching.